with kind acts, good deeds, matters of your heart. Become the author of your life, John, and live a life of significance. That was life-changing. You see, Eileen that day said, John, you have to think intentionally about significance, about adding value to people. And I can remember as I took that book in my hand, I realized for the first time, this is before I ever wrote my first book. This is before I ever became an author. As I held that book in my hand, all of a sudden it hit me that I could be the author of my life, that I could write my story. And I stopped long enough to say to all of you today, you can be the author of your life and you could write your story. And listen to me, most people, they don't write their story. Most people don't fill the pages in of their life. Most people, they don't write their story. Most people read their story. Someone else wrote it for them. And when someone else writes your story, it isn't what God intended. Because He gave you giftedness and He allowed you to be unique. And He has a plan for you. He has ordered your steps. But He wants you, He wants me, He wants us to write our story. He wants us to be intentional. I can remember taking that book and going to my office, and over the next few weeks and months, I would open that book and those blank pages, and I started filling them in. And in chapter 1, I can still remember, I knew what chapter 1 would be in my story, because I think chapter 1 of my story is just like chapter 1 of your story. Because as I opened it up and I started writing, chapter 1 for me was, I want to make a difference. Because I do. I think you do too. I think every person is created by God, created for greatness. And I think every person has something within them that says, I would like to make my life count. Remember a few years ago when Reese Witherspoon